Well, hello, everybody, and we are so sorry for the confusion here. You know, at DU, we talk about taking imperfect action. In fact, my very favorite quote is, winners take imperfect action while losers are still perfecting the plan. And today, clearly, all of us here at DU, we are definitely winners because, man, we took massive imperfect action, didn't we, Jack?
Massive, massive imperfect action. Yes.
So I am Gina Gaudio-Graves, the dean and founder of the Directions University at directionsuniversity.com, better known as the JV Queen. And with me today is Jack Humphrey, the associate dean of Directions University, as well as Antonio Thornton, the associate dean of the DU School of Business and Marketing. We are so glad you guys could join us today because we've got something really important to talk to you about. I don't know where that background noise keeps coming from, Jack. Do you?
I don't hear it.
We've got some sort of an echo going on. Antonio, you can't watch it at the same time that we're here live.
That might be it. Yeah, I just muted out on your YouTube channel, Antonio.
Or just pause it, either one.
Hi, Lynn.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Boy, that's weird, isn't it, Jack?
I can't hear it.
You can't?
Nope.
Okay, I'm closing all other windows, just in case it's coming from me. Nope, doesn't look like it is.
How about now? You better?
Let's see. It's only happening when I talk. Doesn't happen when you talk. On the event page, if someone could go into the event and let us know, am I echoing for you or is it just for me? Antonio, do you hear me echo?
Just a tad, but it's not bad. I'm going to try my headphones and see if that makes a difference.
Oh, I bet that's it.
Yes, this is going to go down as the most slick Hangout ever on Google. I think we're going to get into some.
Well, you know, that's really the whole point of today's call, isn't it, Jack? This whole Hangout. It's really all about how do you take imperfect action so that you can really go out there and be able to do what we do best and make some money, right?
Yeah.
So, Antonio, you had this whole idea in the first place. What the heck is permanent opportunity loss, and how does it apply to what we're talking about today?
Well, Eugenia, permanent opportunity loss is a concept that we are all familiar with. I just coined the terminology of it because recently I got very present to what permanent opportunity loss is and how it actually impacts each and every one of us. And I got really clear about it when I was thinking about hotels. We're familiar with sites like hotels.com, Orbitz, and all these other discount hotel sites. Well, these sites exist for one reason. Well, when you find that a hotel who may have, let's just say a hotel has 100 rooms, and it's Thursday, and of those 100 rooms, 50 of them are booked and 50 not. Now, if those rooms go unbooked, that is lost revenue forever, meaning that it's permanent. It is a permanent opportunity loss. So and here's the thing, no matter how many people come to that hotel the next day, or the day after that, or the day after that, it doesn't matter. They can never go back that time and get the revenue that they could have made from those lost rooms. This is the same for every single aspect of our lives, our businesses, our relationships. Every single thing revolves around the concept of permanent opportunity loss. So if you consider having a business that, let's just say this business is generating $10,000 a month for you, or you want a business that generates $10,000 a month for you. If you take the $10,000 a month and you divide that by 30 days, you break down to roughly $333 per day. That's how much that business is worth to you. $333 per day. Now, if you have not started this business and it's not up and running, what ends up happening is that $333 now becomes opportunity cost in your life. Because if you say, well, okay, today is December 5th, I'm going to get my business started in January 1st, which is, roughly, 25 days or so from now. Well, what you're actually, in fact, doing is that you're pushing that $10,000 a month off by a month, which calculates to roughly $333 every single day that you're losing, that you can never, ever go back and get. Permanent opportunity loss. And as I mentioned, this impacts every single area of our lives. Think about how many times we've said, oh, I'll get that diet started next month. I'll start going to the gym Monday, Tuesday, whatever the case may be. What happens is, again, it's permanent opportunity loss that you can never go back and get.
Antonio, I hate to interrupt, but everyone else is saying that the audio is so bad that they can't really understand you.
Okay.
And it's really garbled for me, too. Can you do me a favor and try closing a bunch of your windows?
Let me try this. Is this any better?
That's nice too.
A little baby bit, but I still hear an echo from myself. I wonder if your headset is really plugged in.
Yeah, the headset is plugged in. Let's see here. Let me try a couple of things here.
I'm going to try muting Jack and I for a minute, just to make sure it's not coming from us. If you wouldn't mind, as soon as I mute us, I'll give you a thumbs up and start talking so I can see if it makes it any better.
Okay, how about now? Is this any better?
Yeah, it actually is better. I'm going to remute Jack for a sec. Try it one more time, Antonio.
All right. How about now? Any better? Is this any better at all?
Way better. Okay, let's go ahead and continue. Jack, I'm going to leave you on mute for 1 minute, and we can unmute you when it's time for you to talk. How's that? Good job, Jack. So, Antonio, please continue. Let's back up just a little bit, since it was so garbled. Let's have you talk a little bit more about the permanent opportunity loss and what it is again. So I really want to make sure our listeners get that clearly, because it's the single most important concept in creating true wealth in life and business.
Okay, absolutely. So when we think about opportunity loss, we think about the concept of where we are versus where we're trying to get, and the time that's in between that. And this concept came from really looking at the hotel industry. When you think about a hotel, let's say it has 100 rooms, and it's a Thursday, and of those 100 rooms, only 50 of them are booked that evening. Well, if those other 50 rooms go unbooked, that's permanent revenue loss for that hotel, because no matter how many people come on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, They could have 500 people show up at their doorstep on Friday. They can't take some of those people back to Thursday and say, well, can you go back in time and stay with us on Thursday night? Well, being that they can't do that, it's revenue that they lose forever. That's one of the reasons why your hotels.com, your orbits.com, and all these other discount hotel sites, that's why they even exist, because these hotel owners are saying, well, I'd rather get a quarter on the dollar, I'd rather get 50 cents on the dollar than get absolutely nothing at all. So when you think about that concept, when you think about those rooms going unbooked, now you got to look at how this applies to other areas, and that's what I did. I started looking at how this applies in every single other area of our lives. What I was just talking about was, if you imagined starting a business that was that you said, well, I want to start a business that makes me, $10,000 a month. That's where I find most people like to set their first, big goals. I want a business that makes me $10,000 a month. So if you take that $10,000 a month and you divide that by 30 days, you'll come to the number of approximately $333 per day. So this business would be worth $333 a day for you. So if you said to yourself, well, I want to start this business, but I'm going to wait until January. I'm going to wait until the New Year's, because it'll be New Year's fresh, and get things started off the right way, blah blah blah. What you're in fact doing is that every single day that goes by is an opportunity for $333 that you have lost forever. So when you start that business in January, you can't go back to December 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Anytime. You can't go back and make that money back. So it's opportunity that's lost. When you think about this, again, this happens in every area of our lives. Think about investing. The difference between someone who invested $25 a week starting at 20 versus someone who started at 30 or 40 or 50. Think about even how this impacts your relationships. A lot of times we get in relationships with people, and it could be all types of relationships. It could be your loved ones, it could be your kids, it could be anyone, where we say, well, when things change, when things get better, then I'll start doing more things with my kids. Then I'll start taking my spouse out and doing more things. When things get better, then I'll call my mom, I'll call my dad and hang out with my cousins or my uncles. That's when I'll do that, when things shift. And what hit me the other day was a song. What's the guy's name? I don't remember the guy's name. The name of the song is "Cats in the Cradle." I remember it came out in 1994, and that song, even to this day, I started getting a little emotional just thinking about the concept of that song. And I'm sorry.
And you're going to make me cry now too, Antonio, because I play guitar, and that song happens to be a very, very special song to me. It's a song that when I first started playing guitar, I started playing that song for my father. And at the time, my dad happened to be president of North American operations for a major Japanese electronics company. He would be gone about 90 days, then come home 3 days, then be gone again another 90 days. And life was like that until I got into law school, from the time I was 2 years old. So growing up, I never had my dad in my life. 3 days, 4 times a year, that was it. And Cats in the Cradle is the story of how that happens to a father and a son, and it felt like it was my life. And I swore from the day I heard that song, and every time I played that song, that I would never, ever, ever have the end of that song be true in my life. That when I was older and I was doing things, that my dad would be just as important to me at that point as he was back when he wasn't around. Wouldn't you know? My dad's in Chicago. I see him once a year.
Wow. Wow.
I do call him almost every day, but It is really the same thing. It's permanent opportunity loss. We can't go back and get it back again.
Yeah. And and I say this, guys, this is so real. This is so real that it impacts every area of life. There'd be times where I would just run up to my kids and just grab them and just hug them and just say, I'm here. I'm right here. And they have no idea what's going on in my mind, of course, but what it is for me is that I want them to know that their dad is here. Because yes, I was at that place where I was working so much, and oh yeah, once I make all of this amount of money, then I'll be able to spend time with my children, then I'll be able to do more things. Well, guys, the fact of the matter is that we don't have that time. We don't have it. Every single day that goes by is a permanent loss that we can never ever get back. And that is the concept of what's driven this whole idea of screw New Year's. As I mentioned, most people like to wait until New Year's for a whole myriad of reasons. But the reality of it is, a lot of it just boils down to procrastination, putting things off, waiting until this day to a better time. And the fact of the matter is that we just don't have a better time. We have to make the better time. We make that better time right now. We make it right this very moment. I was recently working with a client, and we were talking about the work that we were going to do together, and he was really excited, really ready to go with me. And at the end of the conversation, he goes, Antonio, I'm really ready to go with you. I mean, this sounds really good. I think what we'll do is we're gonna hold off until the beginning of the year, because then we can start fresh and then and get things, hit the ground running and all this other stuff. And as I was sitting there, I was thinking this in my mind, and it was actually surprising that it just slipped out of my mouth. I just said, screw New Year's. Losers wait for New Year's. Winners get started now, and they take immediate action. The whole idea of it is that when you see an opportunity, you take advantage of it right now. You don't wait until whatever. I mean, think about how many times you've lost an opportunity from waiting. And I always find, and I've asked multiple people this, and I want you to think about this in your life. But think about how many times you've waited for something versus the times that you've done something. I find that people live way more in regret of having not done a thing or having not done a thing in a certain amount of time than someone saying, well, I wish I wouldn't have invested in so-and-so. Because usually here, when you've done the thing and it didn't turn out the way you wanted it to, there's always a learning lesson in that. Waiting, there's nothing there except permanent opportunity loss. And that's where this whole concept came from, Gina. And that's what permanent opportunity loss is.
Wow, Antonio. Huge, 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 huge. Jack, what do you have to add on this topic? I know this is certainly something that you live every day. Every day there's a time at which Jack is just done, not for the day, but for a while, because he's going to go spend time with Sammy, aren't you, Jack?
Yeah. I'm in that neat spot that everybody's in when they have an 8-year-old or a 5-year-old or whatever year old, and you realize that every minute is precious, every single one. I heard them come in upstairs about 50 minutes ago, and I'm losing the opportunity, you could say, and we all do when we go to work, to do something with the kid. But I go in to make up for that. Gina was concerned one time when we just got off a really, really long presentation. We got off a really long webinar, and she sent me a message within like 30 seconds. And she was like, where the heck were you? I was just 30 seconds, and I was already upstairs. I just took off like I had to go to the bathroom or something, but I didn't. I just needed to see my kid. So I know what that's. I mean, and you start equating that to money. It's the same exact thing. To me, it's the same exact thing. because you're losing something, and presumably you're looking to make that money so you can do things with your family or do things that are important. Your lifestyle is important to you and to all of us. And yeah, it's crazy. I've actually been thinking a lot as I turned 46 this year about life in general and how much I've taken so many things for granted. How we all tend to. You can't just sit around thinking about, well, what's the quality of my life now? What is my, you couldn't live life if you're supposed to take some of it for granted for a while. But I think we all get to an age at some point we start thinking a lot more about, all right, opportunity here and things I need to do and stuff and things and how could I have taken this for granted for so long, and whatever that might be in your life. The only thing that you can do about it now is take action now. That's the only thing you can do about it, because everything else is gone. All the other opportunities that came before here are gone, and they'll never ever come back. So I've been doing a lot of introspective stuff. I think people that do when they get to be around my age, and thinking about how I waste time or how I spend time wisely, and trying to do more of that than the former. And it's awesome to live that way. It can get a little bit on your nerves if you try to do it too much, but or if you catch yourself just obsessing about it, then you can't live any better than you were when you weren't obsessing about it. But just taking action. I mean, we were like the message that Antonio has, and it's like, let's have a hangout, and none of us were prepared. I didn't know who was handling the hangout or anything. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. And that's really the epitome of taking action. We don't come off very nicely when things go wrong technologically, but I think that people are appreciating the message here for sure, Antonio and Gina, that this whole New Year's curse, this whole idea of resolutions and all the stupid stuff we do every year, and every year we come back and expect a different result. Somebody with fuzzy hair said something about that. And we do it every year religiously. Every single year, I'm going to do resolutions. It's total BS. And we all deep down know that, because you haven't done anything about your last year's resolutions. None of us have. I mean, I don't make resolutions anymore, but if I did, I think it's almost a curse. It's almost a guarantee that you won't get it done. It's weird. It's human nature, and it's all kinds of weird things, but it makes you so hyper intensely focused on something that, if you have any inclination of screwing it up or getting, behind on a deadline or whatever, it almost intensifies the result. I've seen that with so many people. We coach thousands and thousands of people, and we see this every year, and it's just time. It's getting to be a joke, but it's time for all the New Year's resolution articles to come out from every single blog on the planet. Every single blog on the planet, everyone is going to have, what are you going to do in 2015? And here's some tips to wait and put off your success until 2015. Let's all just blow off this last month and think about what we're going to not do in 2015, because as soon as we declare a resolution, it's all over. You're never going to do it. It just doesn't happen. That's just like, a half of 1% of the people that I know who do that kind of stuff actually do it. And I dare say there's probably none of those people on this hangout right now. So you're statistically very improbable to be one of those people. I'm going to set a resolution, and here we go. It's not like setting goals. We all have goals. We all have deadlines and things like that. But I don't know. I think it was really neat when I heard Antonio actually owned the domain Screw New Year's. I'm like, yes, because I've always felt this way about it.
Well, the really cool part to me is we have an opportunity here, really, to get things rolling in our business so that we can avoid the permanent opportunity loss that comes with not making money that we could be making. But done the way Antonio wants to do it, it could actually create a new habit in your life that you can then apply to everything else. And okay, money's nice, you can buy some stuff, but money's not where it's at, guys. Where it's at is being able to go out with your dad, go out with your kid, do the things that we are all entrepreneurs because of in the first place. So, Antonio, how are you planning on helping everybody to screw New Year's and create a new habit out of overcoming this permanent opportunity loss once and forever?
Well, Jack said it perfectly. He said that you're actually statistically more likely to fail when setting New Year's resolutions. Actually, Forbes Magazine just recently published an article about this very thing, that of the people who set New Year's resolutions, 8% of them actually stick with it. And I even think that's a high number, to be honest with you. But and it's, again, as Jack said, it's almost like a curse, if you will. But the reality of it is that there is the science behind it. It's kind of what you're doing is you're putting a carrot on a stick, and you're putting your dreams, your goals out there. And as long as you're putting them out there, they will always be out there. So you can imagine having that carrot on the stick. It's always going to be this far away from you. So the way to completely stop permanent opportunity loss in every area, and this is not just about business, this is in every single area of your life, is to do what I call, which is ICMA, is to take immediate, consistent, micro actions. Again, immediate, consistent, micro actions. Now, you may hear a lot of people talk about, and particularly if you've ever been in multi-level marketing or in those motivational spaces, they'll say, just go out and take massive action and blah blah blah. Well, here's the thing, and I feel about massive action. Massive action is like sprinting, if you want to call it that. It's like sprinting, and yes, you can jump out of the blocks and really move down the road in a very quick fashion, but what ends up happening is you're tired very quickly and you're done very quickly, versus the marathon runner who runs at a steady pace, a very consistent pace, and compared to sprinting, very small micro actions, compared to sprinting, it's a completely different scenario. So that's why they're able to run longer, that's why they're able to last longer, is because they're not expending all of their energy immediately after this one thing. Now, here's what I will say, though. Massive action has its place. It absolutely does. It has its place. Let's say you're in an awful financial situation, and it's the 25th, and you know that your rent's due on the 1st, and you've got to come up with $1,500 like immediately. Well, you can say, well, oh my gosh, I've got to take massive action to get this, or whatever that thing may be. And that's great, again, for those short periods of time. But if you're looking to sustain and actually create behavior change, it's going to be in micro actions versus trying to go out and take over the world immediately. I almost say it's kind of like deciding, I'm going to brush my teeth a whole bunch today. I'm going to brush my teeth for a half hour. But I'm so tired now, I'm just not going to brush my teeth for the rest of the week. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. And that's the same concept of taking immediate, consistent, micro actions. It's not trying to expend yourself by going out and doing all of this stuff and burning yourself out, overwhelming yourself, because you really cannot sustain massive action. You can't really sustain it. That's why I kind of compared to sprinting and marathon, is that the sprinting will get you from here to there very quickly, but all your energy's gone. It's completely expended. And as such, that's why a lot of times we crash and burn. We run hard and then we're done. But then we don't see the thing through, whatever that thing might be. We decide, well, I'm going to go to the gym this week. I'm going to start this workout. We go in there, we're hitting it hard. Oh, I'm going to get on the treadmill for 30 minutes and for an hour, and then we're so beat, we're so torn down the next day, we're not inspired to go, we're not motivated to go. I talk about a lot, one of the things that got me into the shape that I'm in is I started going to the gym very differently than everyone else. I actually hired personal trainers, and I fired 2 guys because they weren't listening to me. I said, listen, I'm not I'm not the guy who wants to go in and lift, 300 pounds and do all this. That's not me. I just want to get fit. I want to get toned. I want to get healthy. I'm already vegan. I just want to have a good exercise routine. But they kept wanting to add on all these weights and push, go ahead, push it, push through it, feel the burn, all of that type of crap. And I was like, look, you know what, you guys are fired. And you know what I did the next day? I went to the gym. I got on the treadmill for 3 minutes and left. Went home. Went right home. Took a shower, went about my day. The next day, I went to the gym, got on the treadmill for 3 minutes. Went home, took a shower, went about my day. I did that for 3 or 4 days, and I actually said, well, I'm going to stay on an extra minute today. Added it, bumped it up to 4 minutes, bumped it up to 5 minutes, bumped it up to 10, 15. By the end of the month, I was on the treadmill for 45 minutes, and I didn't even realize I was on the treadmill for 45 minutes. I had my iPhone at the time with me, and I was watching movies. I didn't even realize that I was on there for 45 minutes. But I got there because I started out with a micro action, something that was so easy for me to do just to get me in the habit of doing it. So I was able to go to the gym the next day and the next and the next and the next. So, and here's what I mean when I talk about immediate, because I said again, immediate, consistent micro actions. When I talk about doing things immediately, guess what I mean when I say immediately? I mean immediately. Not tomorrow, not an hour from now, immediately. So if I say, you know what, I'm going to start my workout routine. When are you going to start it? Right now. You go down here, doing your push-ups right now. Right now. Right, not next week. Not an hour from now. Right now. Right now. And you don't have to do 50 push-ups right now. Just start out with 1. Just start out with 2. If you want to start out your workout routine, you don't want to do push-ups, walk up a flight of stairs and walk down. There you go. You've started. You've gotten something done. And the thing is, guys, psychologically, that's a win for you. Psychologically, it's a win. And it actually inspires you and motivates you to do it again. I can walk up a flight of stairs and down. I can do that. And matter of fact, I'm going to walk up one. I'm going to do it twice tomorrow. Doing it the one time, just the one small itty bitty tiny baby step, whatever you want to call it, doing that one thing is what takes you to having the motivation, the inspiration to continue doing it, and that's what creates real benefit in your life. It's again, guys, not massive action. It's immediate action. It's consistent action. And it's micro actions. That's what gets you there. Think about this as a marathon and not a sprint. We're not here to take over the world in a day. What our job is to do as much as we can right now in the time that we have, so that we can create the habits, the behaviors that lead to the larger goals. And you will be amazed. You'll be amazed at how freaking brilliant you are. How resilient you are. You'll be amazed at yourself. Just like I was shocked when I got to the 45-minute mark. I didn't even know. I was like, wow, I've been on for 45 minutes. Let me get out of here. But I was having such a good time. And I don't recommend this for anyone, but I hadn't got to the point where I was hanging out at the gym for 3 hours a day. I'd go take a class, go work out, sit in the lounge, go take another class, go hang out and talk with the buddies, get a massage. This was out in Vegas because they had all this stuff in the gym, and then come back. I would find myself in the gym for hours at a time, and it was because I loved it. It wasn't because I was a gym rat. I wasn't that guy who wants to become a bodybuilder. It's just I really loved working out, just the idea of getting the energy flowing, all of that. But it came out of taking those micro action, guys, and that's the same thing that will happen to you in any area of your life. Go upstairs, go wherever. Give your loved one a kiss, just a kiss on the cheek. right now. Don't wait. If you know that you want to help improve your relationships, don't wait till your business is better. Don't wait till you move to the new house. Don't wait till their birthday. No, just say, baby, I love you. I love you. And just go about your way and create the habits that will lead to getting you to where you want to be.
So, Antonio, why don't you tell everyone how you're going to help them, not next year, but right now, to start taking those immediate, consistent micro steps. And while you do that, I'm going to switch to share my screen so you can tell them a little bit about what you've done.
Well, guys, in the spirit of what I'm telling you to do, I've done the exact same thing. When I came up with the idea to start Screw New Year's, I was literally laying in the bed and I said, wow, this is something that's really powerful for me, and I think others will benefit from this. I think I should probably do this. Well, hold a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe I need to do this right now. and because I was thinking, well, yeah, I can start this next week and blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, how am I going to tell someone that they need to get started right now? And I am pushing things off. So the very first thing was immediately I went and registered the domain name, screwnewyears.com. And then that was the micro action. That was the very small thing. The domain cost me $9. The action is going to make me 90,000, because just that one little action made me feel good. I was like, wow, I got the domain. Okay, well, what's next? Well, I need the hosting. Okay, well, what's next? I need a website. Well, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? And I just started knocking things out, and the whole process just really was just a wonderful, wonderful, fantastic process for me. And I used a part of a coaching program that I put together called Recipe Coaching. And Recipe Coaching is just a very simple 3-step process that we show you how to go from where you are to where you want to be. When you think about a recipe, what do you need? You need the ingredients. That's the very first thing you need. Second thing, you need the tools, the resources. So you might need a pan, you might need a spoon, you might need whatever, all the utensils and all the utilities that you need to make the dish. And then lastly, you need the set of instructions that says do this first, do that second, put this together, that, and then bam, you've got the thing at the end of the day. It's a very simple process. That's how you make any food. That's how you make any type of dish. Well, that same exact thing applies to every other thing you want in your life. The one thing is that you need the ingredients. What are the actual things that you need to do to create whatever it is you want for yourself? Then what are the utilities that you need? You might need a website. You might need this. You might need that. Let's say you want to open a store. Well, obviously you need a storefront. So now you know all the things that you need to do, and then the last piece is just putting it all together, and that's the step-by-step instruction. So what I've done is I've taken the same concept, and I'm going to be delivering this to you guys in the screwnewyears.com website. And I think that's what is that URL, Gina? It's askggd.com/screwnewyears. Is that the correct URL?
It is correct.
Right,
www.askggg.com. There's 3 G's /Screw New Year's. And Jack and I enjoyed what Antonio had done so much. It's such a fit with what we teach at Directions University that we said, you know what, Antonio? You know what we're going to do? This is a DU course officially right now. So it is actually going to be delivered right through DU too, Antonio.
Yes, you inspired us.
And I'm very glad about it. I'm glad I inspired you, because who's just shown up are the folks who've inspired me. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hello, guys. It's so good to see you.
You guys remember Miss Gina? All right, I'll see you guys in a few, okay?
I have to stop sharing just for 1 minute to say hello.
Oh, there you go. That's Miss Gina.
I
So
remember
good
you.
to see you guys.
I remember you.
Do you remember me? Too cute.
Awesome. Okay. Go play.
We have to go. Bye.
Bye, guys. So, Antonio, could you talk a little bit about the unique way that you've set this up to really make it something that they want to do sooner rather than later?
Well, Gina, and you, Gina, this was designed perfectly, in my opinion, to personify and to get people absolutely clear on the idea and concept of permanent opportunity loss. So as a result, I said, well, you know, instead of just having this be a regular old program, that I want the program to be a lesson in itself. So even before you join the program, you're already learning lessons. As you'll see on the screen there, we've created a calendar, and we'll get that updated for you, Gina. I'll get that graphic over to you. But as you'll see on the calendar, guys, we started this program out on Sunday, this past Sunday, at 9 cents. So you literally could have signed up for this program for a dime. And every single day we've increased the price of the program. It's gone from $9 to $29 to $39 to $49 to $69, all the way up to the day that we're going to actually start the program or do the first call, because the program really starts when you decide the program starts. When you take that first micro action by getting schoolnewyears.com today, when you take that action, that's your first micro action. So the program actually has started for you right now. So when you see, well, you know what, this seems pretty good. You know, I think I'll probably wait until Monday to get it. Well, guess what's going to happen between now and Monday? You're going to pay $30 more. You're going to pay $30 more. And you say, well, I wait till next Friday. Well, you're going to end up paying, what, $60, $70 more, guys. And it's designed for this reason, not as a slick marketing ploy, not as some cool trick that we're trying to pull. It's designed to show you real life, tangibly, what permanent opportunity loss is. If you decide to wait, even from today till tomorrow, it goes up from $49 to $59 if you decide to get it tomorrow. That's $10 that you could have had in your pocket that you don't have now because you decided to wait. And the longer you decide to wait, the more quote unquote painful it becomes, guys, because this is exactly what happens in our lives. You know, I remember back, you know, when I wanted to do a lot of investing in my 20s, I wish I had the same concept back then. But, you know, when you think about, well, wow, if I would have saved $25 a month since I was 20 years old, you know, how much would it be worth now? Oh, it would be worth $500,000, compounding interest, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, the fact of the matter is, guys, that this happens every single day in our lives. It happens in every single way in our lives. So I want to strongly encourage you to get ScrewNewYears.com, and let's say all together, let's say, screw New Year's. I'm going to take control of my life. I'm going to put success, the favor of success, in my corner, not the likelihood of failure, like Forbes Magazine says. I mean, think about that. Of the people who set New Year's resolutions, 8% of them, 8%. That's significant to think about, guys. That is significant to think about. It's not just because it's a bunch of lazy folks and a lot of folks who don't do what you're doing. You're literally setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure by putting that carrot on the end of the stick. So grab the carrot, guys. Take that carrot from the end of that stick, bite it, grab it, because it's yours now to have. So I want to encourage you to look at where you are in your life. Ask yourself, what have I been putting off? What have I been, what have I put out there? What carrot have I put on the end of the stick in my life? And ask yourself, how much is it costing me to not have that thing right now? How much is it costing me to not have that business, to not have the physical shape that you desire, the physical fitness and level of health that you desire? How is it costing you to not have that connection with your loved one that may have dissipated or may have waned over the years? Instead of waiting, and even before, I'll wait for them to make a step. No, you take the step, guys. And like I said, this is in every single area of your life. This is an investment, guys, just like any other thing. You know, if you had the opportunity to invest in Microsoft before it became Microsoft, you had the opportunity to invest in any corporation before they became what they are. Imagine where you'd be now. This is the exact same scenario, but the difference is that you're investing in yourself. So when you decide to get this today, guys, you're making an investment in what's going to give you, at the minimum, 5 times the level of success that you could have had by trying to go at it alone or putting carrots on the end of stick. So again, guys, I really want to encourage you to take action today and go to askggg.com/screw New Year's.
And Antonio, I want to add one more thing that we did with this package. You, Jack, and I have co-created a course in DU called Motivation to Profit. It's a course that contains about 45 lessons in all. They're delivered one a week over the course of a year. And that program is probably one of the best programs I've ever been a part of, and I think you feel the exact same way. Until now, the tuition in it has been $147 a year, or $14.95 a month. On January 1st, tuition in that program is going up to $9.97 a year, or $97 a month. We have packaged with this a 90-day membership in Motivation to Profit. And if you come in through this package, Screw New Year's, sign up and grab your bonus, 90 days, not going to cost you a penny. On the 91st day, your tuition gets locked in at the current $147 a year, or $14.95 a month, and you can avoid that permanent opportunity loss when the tuition goes up to $9.97 a year, or $97 a month, January 1st.
And that's huge, Gina. And again, you know, guys, and it's not that, you know, we're raising the price of motivational profit just because. There's a lot of additional training that's going to be coming in motivational profit that's going to be mind-blowing. David Bullock, who's now on faculty with Motivational Profit with Directions University, I can't even begin to tell you guys the value that this guy is bringing to this organization is phenomenal. And think about that, guys. The program is increasing by what, almost 9 times. You know, the program is increasing by almost 9 times. And again, it's not just because, it's because we're going to be providing that much more value. But if you get involved now, right now, you'll be able to get in at a fraction of the cost of the people who will be joining after January 1st. So again, another opportunity for you to say, you know, motivational profit seems great. I'll wait a couple of months to sign up. Not a good idea. Not a good idea, guys. It's one of these things that you, again, are able to take advantage of right now because it's right in front of you right now. And it makes sense to do. I mean, it just makes sense to do. As Gina mentioned, you go grab screwnewyears.com today at askggg.com/screwnewyears. You grab this package today, you're going to instantly get 3 months of motivational profit and get locked in at the $14.95 a month. So think about that. Think about how huge that is. You know, being able to lock in your rate at this amount, and then now, you know, one of the ways that I've been able to take advantage of that same scenario is the software we use to do our conferences called GoToMeeting. Well, years ago, GoToMeeting for $99 a month, they allows you to have up to 1,000 people on your webinar. 1,000 for $99 a month. Well, they changed that rate about, I don't know, a couple of years ago. I think it's almost double that now. No, it's actually way more than that now to get 1,000 people.
$697 a month. $697 a month to get a 1,000-seat room.
Wow, $697. But guys, listen, if you joined GoToWebinar back then, they grandfathered you in. You got to lock in that rate. This is the exact same thing. Think about the difference between $9.90 a month and $6.97. Think about the difference between $14.95 a month and $99 a month. That's a huge difference, guys. So here's your opportunity again. When you see the opportunity, you see that it makes sense. Now you've got the opportunity to take advantage of it. You know, this is not one of those things where, oh man, you know, I wish I knew about it. Well, you're watching it right now. Now you get an opportunity to become a part of it without having to pay more. Just literally 24 hours from now, $10 more, 48 hours more, $20 more, $30 more, $40 more. And it's just going to keep going up, guys, until we cut the program off. Now, I may bring it back next year, but I guarantee you it's not going to start at 9 cents. I can tell you that for sure. So, again, guys, you know, and again, I want you to understand that I'm walking my talk here. This hasn't been something that I've been, you know, planning. Oh, let me just put this out. No, this was an idea that I had. It hit me, and it hit me in a way that drove me, that inspired me to take immediate action. I took that immediate action by registering that domain. I took the next step by getting the hosting set up. I took the next step by getting WordPress installed. I got the next step by getting the theme installed. I took the next step by doing and even when you listen to the video itself, that wasn't a video that I practiced 19 times. That wasn't a video that I sent off to a production studio to have done. Because if I would have done all those things to make it perfect, I would have been launching this next December. Okay, I would have been launching this next December. It was very important for me to get this started and launched immediately because I knew how significant it was. So I encourage you to take action today. Not today, but right now. Take action right now. And askggg.com/screw-New-Year's.
I'm
You're too
Alex
funny, Jack.
Mandosian. Look at me. I'm Alex Mandosian.
You're too funny. You got to do that one more time. I got to switch to presenting you. Come on.
Yay!
Yay!
There we go.
Good job, Jack.
We
Jack,
took
any
some
final words of wisdom before we leave?
quick and perfect action, so there was no way to get really professional graphics done because we just did this like that. And hey, did you guys need it? I mean, it's right there, right? You got the information. The thing I wanted to reiterate about this bonus that comes with this thing is that we were talking for a long time about how this is motivation to profit is getting super redonkulously valuable as Antonio and Gina and I and all of our faculty have put together the new lessons in motivation to profit. And every new one we put together all summer long, all summer long until now, and they're just now finishing up, 42 lessons. And we're looking at it going, what the heck are we doing charging $14.95 for this? This is stupid because the value is so frickin' immense. I mean, you got Simon Mainwaring and you got Davin. I mean, you've got like all these superstars, giant, enormous people coming in and spending time giving us the stuff that they do, the crucial bits of what makes them successful and what you can do. And we're looking at that going, holy crap, we have to change the price on this because it's an insult. If we charge $14.95 any longer for this, nobody's going to believe it's even worth anything, and let alone it's worth what we've turned it into with Antonio and everybody coming in and really knocking it out of the park with the motivation to profit lessons and everything else. We've been talking for a good long time about this price going up, and so it's so funny that Antonio came up with this idea, and then our thing just kind of fit into the whole PLL problem. It's like, you know, you're losing. We just lost one again. We just lost another second. You know, toward that future that all of us are heading toward, and nothing we can do anything about. You know, time. I wrote in the chat just now. Time's running out. Not on this sale. And not on a deadline or a goal that you have for your business. Time, your time, my time is plain flat running out. Every single day that goes by, that's a day you'll never ever see again. And my question there was, what are we all going to do with the time that we have left? Not to overstate the thing, but it is a really big deal. And when was the last time you asked yourself that question? So yeah, this whole thing's just kind of been heading this way. I had no idea it was going to end up in 2014 with screw New Year's, but it's really kind of funny how everything works out. I mean, that's I'm going to be thinking about this for quite a long time, how all of this just shaped up. No clue that December was going to look like this in 2014 for us, but here we are.
You know, I didn't either, Jack. So really, in coming into the Screw New Year's package, you're getting exposed to all 27 DU faculty members, including Jack and Gina and Antonio and David Bullock and all of the deans, the administrators at DU. I can't think of a more perfect way to wrap up 2014 and to get started creating a habit out of that idea of immediate, consistent micro actions. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful idea, Antonio. And I thank you so much for letting Jack and DU and I share in this idea and making it a reality in so many people's lives.
Well, I'm glad to share it, and I really hope that you guys take heed to just the raw lessons, understanding what permanent opportunity loss is, and understand how taking immediate, consistent micro actions completely squashes that concept of permanent opportunity loss, because you're making that action moving forward. So I love to help, and each and every one of you, I'm looking forward to working with you guys in the Screw New Year's program. So that's it for me, Gina. So I'm looking forward to working with everybody.
And Jack and I are looking forward to working with you guys on our Wednesday gold calls in Motivation to Profit, even helping you get into a hug seat of your own. That's what we like to call those calls, hug seats, where we can help take a look at where you're at, where you want to be, and lay out the plan for how to go from where you're at to where you want to be. It's not really just about creating a strategic plan for your business. It's really about the life that you want, and we find a way to fit business into it. It's one of the most amazing calls we do at DU. So thank you again, Antonio. All of you can join us on the inside at askggg.com/screw New Year's. See you there.
Bye, everybody. Thanks.